Hi guys, Redneck Computer Geek here, and John. That has got to be the worst sidekick name ever. We have got to find you a YouTube handle.
I've been thinking of John's Ideas.
John's Ideas. That's middle ground.
It covers all the bases.
Okay. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Should John's YouTube handle be John's Ideas? Alright, so seriously, let's get to the video. We reached out to BILT HARD. We have a Oxa Earth, Aurorix Earth, something, I don't know. It's the #1 selling mini bike on Amazon right now. And the real reality is the engine that it comes with was fine until we upgraded the rear tire. And then we roasted the clutch. And then the real reality is it never held me anyway. And we need it in order to be a pit bike when we go drag racing. So, we've got this bugger in order to stuff on there in a future video. But right now, let's make a video that actually has the information that people wish they could find when they were searching. Like, what is the engine shaft used for a bolt? Most of them are 5/16 by 24. So we got some extra bulk ordered bolts. What size does it use if you want to put a torque converter on it? And is it really a 3/4 inch shaft? This is a JD or JDJH something. I can't talk today. They've got a logo that you really can't make, because Amazon suggestions are not always the greatest. Alright, so unboxing, done the Redneck Computer Geek way. We always cut the bottom and lift the top off so you can actually see how it was packed. i.e. engine. Alright, that can go over there. There was a bunch of really thick cardboard in the top of it. And this is interesting and this is different. I actually like this. So rather than having 4 side pieces, it has a top and a bottom. And it is extremely nicely cradled in here. Let me pop it out and I'll walk you guys around and I'll show you a couple of things I can see right off that I actually like. So John, I'm going to lift. There we go. And there is the pretty side of life. Now, without naming names, I'm going to point out something right off the bat you can see right here. That is a tie down for a throttle cable. And it goes right back to a nut that you can drill out in order to put a thumb throttle through it. And then right there is another tie down for a throttle cable. There's a reason people are calling this the Predator Killer, because it is $150. Like, straight to your door. You don't have to go anywhere. No monkeying around. Now the question is, on this, does it have an adjustable idle? It does not. Let's put a negative against it. Now, that's not a total deal killer because a HIPAA carburetor is only $14.95 that fits this. I'll post a link down below for the one we use for tuning in on idle jets. Now, if we come around, it is a slightly smaller gas tank. That is not out of perception here. It really actually is slightly smaller. It's 0.2 of a gallon smaller than most of its competitors. In the grand scheme of things on a mini bike, that really doesn't matter. Now let's see if they decided to, right there, R210. They didn't even bother to try and hide that it's a Rado, which is good, because that means it'll be easier to find parts. In theory, if it's a Rado, it should use a Honda rod and Honda piston with pin. Now, don't quote me on that because we're going to tear this down another time. But just out of curiosity, it is a regular standard side bolt cover. So the gaskets should be normal Honda gaskets. Regular standard 2-bolt, looks the right width. I like it. I think this is pretty cool. Now, this is only a 2-position side cover, and you can rotate this to pull from this side. But what we have found while running the Duramaxes is that really your pull location needs to be up here. So I think for the giggles of it, for this video, we're going to pop this off and see if a generic Honda will fit. Because a generic Honda side does fit on a Duramax, and like if you can't see the de-cloning that's going on here, like I don't know what to tell you. On a side note, that is probably why this thing weighs 2 pounds less than a Duramax. That's plastic, not metal. This is smaller than a Duramax gas tank. It's smaller than the Predator gas tank. But it's got a lot of cool to it also. A lot of stuff is usually 5/16 by 24. We've confirmed that this is 5/16 by 24. These are 5/16 by 24. Bulk ordering the 1 inch and the 3/4 off of Amazon is tons cheaper than Tractor Supply. So I'll post links down below. If you're putting this on a Coleman bike with a jack shaft assembly, you need 3/4. If you're putting it on with a torque converter with the aluminum side, you need 1 inch. That is a ton more play there than the Duramax or the Predator usually has. But you're also getting an engine that's $100 less than a Duramax and on par with a Predator. One of the things that I have shown many people over the years is that if you end up finding a carburetor that is a non-adjustable idle jet, that is a classic generator carburetor thing. In order to be able to meet emission law and everything else, most of the time they're blocked off. So I popped this open and found this really nice set of diagrams in here, and I dropped in the connecting rod SKU code here, and it comes up with a home light generator. If you throw the SKU code for this in, it also comes up on partstree.com as a home light generator engine. So this also cross-references to Ryobi generators, and it cross-references to Champion generators. That makes me very happy because it means that parts for this thing are going to be easy peasy to find if I need them. Good selling point. Now, let's talk about size, because, you know, size matters. What do we got for a size here? So, template. These are 3D printable templates for a GX200 in order to be able to mark out and drill the bolt holes. I actually have these up on my Patreon page. You're welcome to go and follow the link down in the description and go download these and have some printed out if you like. But what it did confirm is that everything here matches up. So it is a drop-in, bolt-in replacement for anything GX200 related. On a size comparison side, we have plus or minus about 14.5. Although what I did notice is that for some reason the exhaust on this one is kicked way out. Like usually the exhaust is just barely missing this on most of these. So that makes this, where the exhaust is, almost 1.5 inches wider than normal. It's about 11.5, give or take. If you want to go across all the way to the end of the shaft, you've got roughly 12.5 inches. And if we come around here for a height, set that there, we've got a height of 13.5 to be able to clear the gas tank. Now, we've got some oil in it that was on sale from Tractor Supply, so I'm sure it's perfect. We'll throw some gas in and see what this thing sounds like ultimately. John bolted it down, so if it falls off, we know who to blame. Now, we're going to hit the on here. We're going to hit the choke. We got some gas in it. I want to point out two things I found interesting in the listing for this. First of all, it lists it as supposedly having 0.5 pound less torque than the Predator. So they openly admit that it has less torque than the Predator. The other thing they openly state is that supposedly the exhaust is just a tiny bit louder on the rating. So we're going to see if we can hear it when we start it up. So we've got it on full throttle, choke, gas on, give it a yank. Start, oh. So we should be able to drop that. Cool. Idle works. Give it a little bit of throttle. That is a lot of travel in that throttle. There we go. That was like a third of the throttle before it did anything. Alright, let's punch it, see if it'll go. Nice. Okay, punch it. Off. Now, if you're somebody dealing with one of these right straight off the bat, let's show this. If you pop that, okay, this is your oil kill that has to do with if you tip the engine sideways and if you throw it in a go-kart or something and it's being stupid, a lot of times that is the solution. And so you just pop that and you pop that. And now you have your kill tether right here that still functions. Now, if you buy an independent pull kill tether, like you see on like racing bikes and things like that, you undo this and you put one end there, and then you pull this, and you plug the other end right directly in there. And I'll post a link for that kill tether in the description down below. Well, this has been Redneck Computer Geek, and whoops. I forgot my own name. I'm so obsessed with whether you have a screen name, I totally forgot mine. Well, this has been Redneck Computer Geek and John. Alright, so straight out, right? I love the honesty of this company. I mean, this is, yes, the exhaust definitely is louder. I love the fact that they gave a torque rating that, if it's true, at least they were honest that it's half a pound less torque. I would rather have a company that downgrades their ratings rather than fluffs them. Is it a good little engine for $150? I think it's on par with Predator.
Yeah.
And it's got all the attachments to hook it right directly up to a go-kart or a mini bike immediately. Side cover bolts are just standard 5/16 by 24 that you can get anywhere. Shaft is exactly the same as anything else, and the carburetor is interchangeable with any HIPAA carburetor or brand of your choice. Exhaust is easily upgradable. It's a standard flange. Gas tank being a tad bit smaller, I don't think in the grand scheme of things matters.
Yeah.
I mean, you're either going to be happy with it or you're going to use a tank on the bike or the unit or whatever. So, I mean, unless you're like running a log splitter with it for hours on end, it's about the only scenario I can think of the gas tank matters. Anybody else have a scenario where the gas tank size is like going to matter in a big way? I mean, I guess if you're trail riding a mini bike, you need to know how many gallon it is based on how far you're going out in the woods or whatever. But yet again, if you're that hardcore, you're going to have spare gas.
Yeah, I do say though, if you do replace the gas tank does look pretty cool.
Oh, you like the look of the gas tank?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So John's last words are a cool gas tank. Don't think that's ever been said in a YouTube video ever. Alright. Anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. I included every bit of info that as a builder I would prefer to see. If there's anything we should include in future videos, please feel free to throw a comment down below and maybe I'll take your advice. Or I'll just ignore it like most YouTubers. Alright, John, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.